Hello everyone, today we are going to discuss about double fertilization in chapter 2 sexual reproduction and flowering plants. Double fertilization is seen only in angiosperms, that is flowering plants. First I will read the definition and then we can go to the meaning of the definition. It is nothing but the fusion of two gametes released from the pollen tube to two different cells of the same female gametophyte in order to produce two different structures. Here the fusion of two gametes is not within each other. The two gametes are released from the pollen tube to two different cells of the same female gametophyte. Here the female gametophyte have different cells. We know that. In that the gametes move to the different cells and then fuse with them in order to produce two different structures. The produced structures after the fusion are not same. That is here mentioned as two different structures. Then it was discovered by Navaschin in 1898 in Fritillaria and Lilium plants. After the pollination, the pollen grain germinates to produce a pollen tube on the stigma through germ pore. This type of fertilization involving the formation of pollen tube is called as siphonogamy. In the double fertilization, the pollen tubes only release two male gametes. Without the pollen tube, here fertilization does not occur, and hence we say that the fertilization which involve the formation of pollen tube are called as siphonogamy, and the pollen grains are normally monosiphonous. What is this mono? We know one, single. So the pollen grains which produce only a single pollen tube are known as monosiphonous, and this is the normal type of pollen grain. And also sometimes it may be polysiphonous. Polysiphonous is nothing but more than one pollen tube are formed. For this example is members of family Malvaceae. So the pollen grains may be monosiphonous, that is they produce only a single pollen tube, that is general, or it may be polysiphonous, this is not general. And here we can see more than one pollen tube formation. An example of this type is family Malvaceae. Some members of family Malvaceae shows this type of pollen grain. The pollen tube enters the ovule either through micropylar region, chalazal end, or through integument. We know that for double fertilization, pollen tube is formed in the pollen from the pollen grain. The pollen tube enters the ovule either through micropylar end, that we call it as porogamy. For example, it takes place in lily, or it may enter through chalaza. It is called as chalazogamy. For example, it takes place in juglans and casuarina. Or it may enter through integument. It is called as mesogamy. Example is cucurbita. But actually for the double fertilization, the pollen tube has to enter the embryo sac, and then only it will release the male gametes. So the pollen tube enters the embryo sac always only through the micropylar region. Even though it enters into the ovule through micropylar, chalaza or integument, but it enters the embryo sac only through the micropylar region, and it will release the male gametes into the synergids. The various steps that occur in the process are: first is the release of male gametes from the pollen tube into the synergids. This is the first step. And the second step is syngamy or generative fertilization, and the third is triple fusion or vegetative fertilization. Now I will briefly describe about the various processes that occur in the double fertilization. First process is release of gametes. The pollen tube releases two male gametes after entering into the cytoplasm of synergid. There are two synergids in the micropylar end. Already I have said that the pollen tube strictly enters only in the micropylar end. Other than a micropylar end, it doesn't enter into any part. So the pollen tube releases two male gametes into the cytoplasm of any one of the synergids. It releases two male gametes. The entry of pollen tube is guided by the filiform apparatus. Filiform apparatus is nothing but the special cellular thickenings which are present in the synergids. And the one male gamete moves towards the egg cell or oosphere, and the other male gamete moves to the polar nuclei. This is the first process. The second process is syngamy or generative fertilization. In this process, one male gamete fuses with the egg diploid zygote. This fusion is called as syngamy, or also we call it as generative fertilization. So the first male gamete fuses with the nuclei of the egg cell and forms a zygote which is diploid in nature. This is the second process. After syngamy, triple fusion takes place. It is also called as vegetative fertilization. In this process, the other male gamete moves towards the two polar nuclei to fuse with them, and hence the process produces a primary endosperm nucleus, also called as pen. This primary endosperm nucleus is triploid in nature. As this fusion involves 3 haploid nucleus, it is called as triple fusion. After the triple fusion, the central cell becomes as primary endosperm cell, and the primary endosperm cell becomes as endosperm, and the zygote develops into embryo. Now we will go through all processes that occur in the double fertilization. First is the release of gametes from the pollen tube. Into the synergids. The second is syngamy or generative fertilization, and the third is triple fusion. The first process is the release of gametes from the pollen tube into the synergids, and then second process is syngamy, in which it gives rise to zygote which is diploid in nature, and the third is triple fusion, which gives rise to primary endosperm nucleus which is triploid in nature. As both the process occur in an embryo sac, we call this as double fertilization. This is the diagram showing fertilized embryo sac. Here we can see the zygote which is diploid in nature. This is the result of syngamy or generative fertilization, and here is the pen, primary endosperm nucleus which is triploid in nature. This is the result of triple fusion or vegetative fertilization. The central cell becomes primary endosperm cell, and this is the primary endosperm cell. These are the degenerating synergids, and the antipodals are also degenerating.
Thank you.